Okay, we're going to start the session. The next speaker is Augustin. The title is Partial Adoption is Not Failure. How teams move forward when full change is not possible. Okay, please, Augustin.
Okay. Hey. Okay. I'm Augustin, and this time is my third time here. I'm still very happy and exciting to have a sharing here with everybody. And thanks for your community and the conference. And actually, I still feel a little bit nervous. So if I speak something careless, forgive me. Forgive me. Okay. At first, I want to introduce myself briefly. I'm an owner of a consulting firm which focuses on the software engineering related topics such as new tech adoption, process improvement, of course, some troubleshooting around the legacy system because legacy system is more. Of course, Besides, I still a teacher in university, Taiwan, to teach the software engineering. Actually, I love the software engineering. So if you don't mind and you want to find some people to talk something boring things, you could find me through the social link. It's my pleasure anytime to chat with you. Okay, at the beginning, I would like to talk a little bit about changes. Actually, changes are really common, especially in the software organization, because there are a lot of involving technology, and I don't know why, but we do like produce more. I don't know why. Even the quality may be a little bit trouble, but we like it. So every time there's must be some people who say, "Hey, I have an idea. I have an idea. I have an idea." Maybe that idea is from the trends, maybe buzzword. We don't know, and maybe he just see most of a competitor start to adopt some new things. We don't know, maybe practice, tools, technology, we don't know. He just adopt that and he will get nervous that if we don't do the same thing, we will lose the market. So maybe the idea is from trends and maybe the idea is from the real pain, because they got some quality troubles and the delivery is very slow and maybe it just suffer a bad accident. It just suffer a bad accident. So you want to save their guys, save their members to live more comfortable. So they will try to find something to get different, to change everything, to improve it. So while you have this kind of idea, the next step you will try to find some whole right answer. You will want to find a whole right answer. What's the whole right answer? It's maybe some kind of a best set of best practice. Maybe you will study book hard, and maybe you will finding some proven models, and even you ask some professionals, everybody everywhere, and now finally you will get yeah, that's the ideal set, and if we adopt it, and we solve everything. We're getting better. Wow, what a wonderful solutions. But in the finally, you will see that, okay, the change is a little bit delayed. And why my member always just adapted the rules by themselves and didn't tell anything? Why? Why? Why the benefits, the original benefit I imagined disappear or decrease? It's real for translator. That is really. I'm not how to say, because I'm a translator before, and now I'm a consultant firm, so I help the translator. So I'm not so get nervous now. But we could see they have feel very nervous for that. They will start to think, okay, maybe people resist changes. Maybe people changes. And you can find a lot of blog article to say that. But from the members' view, they will say, oh no, I'm not resist on the changes, just want to survive. Survive is wrong? Not. So we cannot get we cannot know more details here, so we want to dig more details, so we could see some aspect different opinions here. You will find a change leader. They will think, okay, you are cutting corners, say you are just not cooperating, and you're just immature, your skill is immature. But from the members' view, let's see, okay, come on, I just help you to control the scope, to manage the risk. You know, I have my daily job, I have my existing systems, and I can get them done. Even you have any kind of a wonderful idea, I just make everything stable. So that's the members think. So from here, we could see if we still try to find somebody wrong and somebody right, you can get the correct answer. So maybe we should step back a little and to see the whole environment, the whole picture, the system, which includes the process, tools, anything support you to develop the software. And you will know the capacity is finite. The timing is real, and maybe your system is a little bit fragile. So now you are just stop at a fork point of the street, and you have to make decisions now. Okay, what could I do? How could I do for that? Because I don't want to lose the opportunity to get advanced. I want to do something different. Because you know, those change leaders always with the goodwill and always want to do something better. Such kind of passion is real, I think. So they would like to do more. So how to solve this problem? The answer is here. We have to make decision. Partial adoption is not such kind of a compromise. It doesn't mean you could just ignore the hard part, or you just select one part of them randomly. Not. You have to based on your context, based on your condition, and choose the critical one for your team. For example, before I just make one team. Let team leader want to adopt the continuous integration to their team, because everybody said continuous integration can have can speed up the delivery or whatever. But you know, the teams, the version control among the teams is done ad hoc. And of course, the branch management policy is not there. So based on this kind of condition, how could we adopt the continuous integration successfully? It's really impossible, because they don't know how to control their version. They don't know how to manage their branch. They just create branch just by their will. So that's the key here. Even our goal is the continuous integration. Maybe you just treat the practice as a goal. The first step is not to apply that. The first step is to make your version control controlled and construct a good branch management policy first. Okay, so for the change management, the trouble things are a lot. Even if we make a good choice, we still, things are still not smooth. We still keep running into the same situation again and again, just like this full situation. One is cannot do everything, and the second one is goal is unclear, or goal is clear but not actionable. And the third one is, and changes happen, but wow, there's surprise. And the final one is, we are get used to, but we focus on something, and the things that a little bit weird, but we don't know how to solve that. So today, I would like to summarize this four situation with everybody. So we take the first one. The test one can do everything. Just as we mentioned as earlier, while you want to doing some change, the change always under some set of a constraint. And the constraint will reshape your ideas because they will consume the resources. The constraint maybe from dependency, maybe from the delivery pressure, maybe from the readiness, the readiness of the skills, anything. And that will consume the resource. And if you try to tell these things to your sponsor, hey, boss, give me extra resource, okay? He will say, maybe yes, maybe or not. Even yes, they will say, this change, there is some risk for this change. We have to manage it more microly, in micro way. So that will become an obstacle for your change process. So, but you still don't want to lose the momentum. So there's two ways to go. One, wait for everything's ready. But the passion will cool down. And everybody don't want to do that because that word is not boss anymore. Okay? So the only way is to choose the partial, to achieve some small milestone, just as mentioned as a previous patch, and control those risks. Don't let your team to control the risk, to scope the things, because they will try to explain by themselves, and you don't know the final results of the change. So here, I would like to introduce an element for a change management called window. Of course, we still have to plan the change. Of course, we still need a plan. Even Agile, we still need a document at the very last. So we still have to plan our change, but we still have the window to define the feasibility. The window, just like the real window, you step a slide left, forward and backward, upward, downward, and zoom in, zoom out, and maybe you just find an open window and do some change. The window will close because you finish your job, and another window will open. So window here means the scope. The scope may be system, maybe people, maybe process, maybe anything. Maybe anything could be controllable and could help you maximize the value of the change. And now we have a goal, we have a scope. It seems sound good, but we still meet another situation. It goes our way and my way, because everybody have different roles, different KPI, different system. They will try to interpret the things by themselves, and then you will get different result. That is natural. This is really natural. You cannot break anything because you don't tell them. If you don't tell them. So how can we do that? How can we do that? We have to know the goal always really a little bit abstract. For change leader, you will think, oh yeah, that goal is really correct, really valid, really concrete. But now for your member, their daily job is for execution, for the real work, for the daily work. They just want to know how to do that. What is the step? You just let me know. Or you just let me know what kind of things you want me to deliver. Just like this. Just all. They do appreciate your goal, but they seems cannot change their mind to translate your goal into the objective or whatever as what you want. So here, I want to introduce another pattern. The second pattern here is objective process alignment. It means that you have a goal, and you define a scope, and you have to convert your goal within the scope to the concrete objective, such as maybe some concrete artifact, maybe some concrete outcome, and maybe provide some criteria to make sure your team member, your member know what you are talking about. And then make those objectives share with everybody and explicitly and embed it to the workflow. And if possible, don't create any new process first. You could just traverse their original process and find a place maybe it's more proper for this change and put in there. To minimize the impact of the change. Because everybody always say, I'm so busy. Based on my experience, I have a lot of, every time, even you are busy whole year, but you still have a rhyme of your work. Maybe July, June is a little bit comfortable, have a more redundant time and something else, because that is the industry characteristic. But every time I just ask my customer or ask my, which time is more, it is convenient to do something change. They will say, oh, no, we are busy all the time. We're busy all the time, really busy. You see my mail? You see my mail? phone, ちょっと待ってください. But if you try to inventory the process, you will see, no, we have a room to do change maybe among several months, but I don't know why they always want to look like busy. I don't know why. But so the step, the key here is try to minimize your impact from the change. That is very important. If you cannot, okay, you could create some sub process. We still have to insist some principle here, is that sometimes you will do new things, the old process is maybe not so proper for the new things. Maybe you have the courage to modify some steps to make the things more smooth. But maybe the first step is to communicate or provide some metrics or data to the team to explain why we need to do that, because that is really very important, because data is objective, it's not subjective. So it usually it won't harm anyone, usually, I have to say. So now we have a goal, we have scope, and we have concrete objectives. So, oh yeah, this time is more real. Yeah, we could implement our change, right? But for a while, as time goes, you will start to suffer some surprise. You never imagined for that. Originally, you would think, okay, I define the goal, define the scope, and I define the objective, and I communicate with everybody, and the objective is so explicit, and we have a shared language. The things should be go fine. But surprise, why? Why here? Why? And we get more insight. We have to know one truth here. The relations between system to system, system to people, people to people. Relation has a lot of kinds of styles, and of course, some are visible and some are invisible. And you can eliminate those invisible, even you try to reveal everything to make all the things transparent. You still have to suffer some invisible, because your team, just like your brother, your sister, and so, okay, I cover you, your job I will attack. Oh, sometimes, it's a more better guy just help you to solve some trouble, but he doesn't tell anything to others because you're brother and sister, right? So why you changing? What change occurs? What change start? It will change the visible relations, also the invisible ones. And of course, some relation will be destroyed, it will disappear, and some will constructed. And you will know the dynamics if you don't care about that. Of course, you will say, okay, we could plan it. We could plan it at the very first because I'm a smart guy. But how do you plan for those invisible? You don't know? Don't know. So that is truth. So we need a mechanism. I call it the relational guardrail identification. Simply speaking, is that we have to build a recheck or renewal mechanism for your team, just like Agile. Agile actually has their run meeting, for example, the sync up meeting, stand up meeting, or retrospective or whatever. That's try to sync up everything. Try to make sure the obstacle is removed or not. So here we still have to build up such kind of mechanism to protect those critical relations and analyze those surprise and the reason why behind the surprise and regularly and keep on and make sure every surprise won't occur anymore. Although sometimes you will still get overwhelmed. And then, okay, we solve the goal, we have scope, we have concrete objective, and now the surprise is under control. Everything goes well, and it really goes well for a longer time. And the change always occurs or launched by a very limited team. Sometimes it's not so seriously for all organizations. Will be a pilot team, I know, pilot team, A team, whatever team. And that team will have a very successful case or behavior, but you have to know, change sometimes like the body of the wall. I don't know how to explain that. You have a very special relation and a feeling between each other. So sometimes, and the team is really small, so they could remember everything. Probably. But while you get along a long time, you will find the stabilized thing becomes unstable, becomes inconsistent. Because while in the change is a really interesting thing for me, actually, because his real highly customization activity is really highly customized. You can find any correct, any theory, and read a lot of book, but for each kind of context, it has different kind of facts, and you have to solve them. And because you want to solve these different kinds of many trouble, you will build up a lot of principle among your change team, your pilot team, or maybe larger, I don't know. And at the first time, those action always memorized by human. I could take it. Okay, this is not big deal. It's not big problem. Well, I find it and I take it. You're always. Every time I join the pilot team before I work for the company, I'm very lucky because my member always very help me to achieve the things. So even I say something, actually, even than me, I think that is a little bit ridiculous. They still want to support me to achieve that. But you know, that things is not addressed in any kind of document or and cannot scale up because that is a special recipe within your team. So while your team gets used to those changes, while you want to scale up your changes, you will find the successful experience cannot be held anymore. This is because some knowledge, some experience cannot be externalized. Nobody knows what you are doing. In Taiwanese, we call it people. I don't know how to say in English or in a trick. I don't know, trick sounds a little bit bad, I don't know. But so if we would like to put all the things into a more stable way, we have to make them become the more normal process or mechanism or checkpoint. And this is maybe a SOP for everybody, not by human, by mechanism, by system. For DevOps, we always say we have to improve our system. Don't brand anyone. That's it because always we have some our system always have some drawbacks, and every time we always can find some weakness, we could improve it. So we believe we have to construct a more strong system to protect the people work within it. So that is the first one, the structure bond institutionalization, to make everybody know what you do, and then they could just access that document or access that knowledge very easily. And you know, now you have a Gen AI that is more easy than before, because before we have a lot of document and then we don't want to read it. We don't want to read it, especially for engineer. You give some document that they always don't want to read it. They will start to read the code and just try something. And if you have a task, they just do it and document, that just give it away. So now you could put those documents to maybe leverage the AI tool to help your team to solve, to find, and to know how to do the things, to scale up your change. And this is the real case. Actually, the full pattern is formed. Actually, this full pattern I have met before many times, but last year I have a case for an industrial control company, and they try to automate every test. But you know, industrial control company, they maybe have a common software, but they have a very variety of customized hardware. So they invest a lot. As time goes, the test grows, the test takes time. And while the QA team, the quality team, to do the test, the engineering cannot do anything, They just coding and don't know it's correct or not because the pipeline is occupied by the quality teams. So they want to solve this problem, and they say, okay, I could invest the hardware. I want, and it has already budget there, but they would like to know, is there any way more efficient or effective? So I am that team to inventory whole process, and finally I think, okay, maybe we need to apply the impact analysis and the quality risk analysis. Actually, it's a risk-based testing. And you know, if you adopt a risk-based testing, you have need to a different kind of dimension to categorize the tasks. So I leverage ISO 25010, 2500. I don't know how to in English. 2500. That standard provides some quality attributes, and I hope them to adopt those quality attributes to categorize their risk, and we could score the risk and based on the bug, based on the test results to recategorize, reprioritize their tasks to make their tasks more efficient and efficient. And at the first time, I think all the teams should join the program. All the team, quality team, engineering team, all the team join doing that. But we know that their core team, algorithm team, and kernel team, they just faced a very important migration because they want to upgrade their core algorithm from 1.0 to 2.0. So they don't have much time to company with you to do any changes. And besides, quality team is more familiar with some framework component. So we scope down the system, the software component, just for the frameworks and the quality teams. And then we'll see, okay, we're scoping down, so now we could adopt all the attribute quality, right? Yeah, that is another problem here. They know you are right. Your goal is really concrete. ISO standard, right? It's so concrete, but I don't know how to do that. Because I don't know how to differentiate the task based on the quality attributes. The only thing I know is the functional requirements. No matter what you explain, they just say that. So I use different strategy here, trick here or skill here for quality team because they test the system. They have a complete set of the system testing. So they have to adopt all the quality attributes. But for our engineering team, they just know one attribute from the ISO standard called functional stability. And actually, they sometimes will say something like a non-functional requirement, maybe security, maybe hazard, whatever, other dimension. But we don't force them to differentiate those risks to other quality attribute. We just let them put in the functional stability dimension and do some tech. And I told the quality team said, now we don't have much power and not many evidence to convince the engineering team to thinking about other more and more dimension because they have a delivery pressure. So we could, because the quality team leverage all the quality attributes. So if our test fail many times and we could find a bug and we could have the data, or maybe this time we could find this spring, the quality, the attribute 3, the third attribute is getting higher. So we could ask engineering team, maybe we need to take care more about this attribute. And that is I think that is a more practical way to convince the engineering team to adopt new kind of thinking. They know, but sometimes they need the reason or some data to convince them, to let them know it is worth to do these things. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. I just forget about to change the slides. Yeah. I just to having it in my topic. And then okay, I just just here. We are just here, and that actually we after we going to do that, and the audit team focus on the functional suitability, the quality team focus on all the quality attributes, everything goes well, and then we find some trouble occurs because there is some coupling troubles. There is some coupling troubles around the original software system. So they have to solve that and invite more people to solve the trouble. And we know that is a key man. That is a key man, and invite them to join the team to give some advice. And we will regularly invite him to the meeting to check the mechanism is good or not. And finally, this year, because the program is started last year, and this year they start to push all the things to all the teams because their core team now is free. Now is free. Okay, so I will quickly, because I just see my timer back. So I quickly summarize today's the sharing. Today's we share the 4 different kind of pattern. The first one and the second one is make your change real. It's about scope. It's about concrete objectives. And the third one and the fourth one is make your success sustainable. That's more important than you make it real, because yeah, real and aha, and maybe doing something, and tomorrow we forget everything. That is not success. So the first one, the first one and third one is most important, I think, and that it always takes more time to wait and adjust. Okay, and furthermore here, I have to say these two sounds like the pattern is the step by step, but actually it's not step by step. It will maybe now we're in the window-driven adoption, and then jump to the relational guardrail. It's by tension, by force, by condition, by anything will happen with around your team, and that will drive you to dive into the one of the patterns. And the final, I've emphasized here is that partial adoption, because I just you know that actually this is my paper this year, and my reviewer said that okay, that is yeah, it's a compromise, right? But I have to say that is not compromise. You could think big, you could do big and fail, and nobody happy, and maybe your friend, your member will get angry, and your teams will get chaos. That is not a good thing, because you have goodwill, you have passion, right? So you have to take everything into consideration and plan your scope and make things more real. And we just separate our goal, our products in several small pieces, and finally we will approach the goal. That's more important here. So plan and awareness and partial adoption is not compromise. That is very important. That's very important and more smart, I think. And the last, this is my last patch. Last patch is today's the key takeaway. Actually, the point here is change moves under constraint and no under ideal plans. No matter how smart you are, the situation, they will go by themselves, not by you, not surround you, not support you. They won't say, yes, oh, I love you. No. They will just bring some, hey, surprise, and then you, yeah. So as a change leader, you have to analyze all the things. And I think maybe everyone, because uh, yesterday and today I heard a lot of Gen AI into the organization. So maybe that is the time for you to adopt new tech to your organization. I hope my sharing can help you and that your change goes well. Okay, thank you.
Any questions? We still have some time. No? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Augustin.